In the spring of 2022, Ukrainian soldiers started wrapping their Starlink dishes in tin foil and burying them under camouflage netting. They weren't hiding from cameras or drones. They were hiding from the dish itself, because the moment it powers on, it starts broadcasting a radio signal that Russian electronic warfare units could triangulate to within a few dozen meters, without ever cracking a single byte of the encrypted data flowing through it. Starlink terminals don't work like a home Wi-Fi router. Each one uses a phased array antenna, a flat panel packed with thousands of tiny transmitters, that physically steers a radio beam up to whichever SpaceX satellite is passing overhead. To do that steering correctly, the dish has to constantly announce its exact position and orientation, first to the satellite, then relayed back to SpaceX's ground stations in places like Fresno, California and Redmond, Washington. That handshake happens every few seconds, whether or not you're actively browsing anything. Here's the part most owners never learn. Researchers at institutions including MIT Lincoln Laboratory have shown that a basic software-defined radio, the kind hobbyists buy on Amazon for under $30, can pick up that beacon signal and pinpoint a terminal's location even if the traffic itself is fully encrypted. The dish doesn't have to be logged into anything. It just has to be plugged in. If you're finding value in these kinds of hidden mechanics behind the tech you already own, subscribe, because we post 3 of these breakdowns every single day. This isn't only a battlefield problem. Over 5 million Starlink terminals are now active worldwide, mounted on RVs, fishing boats, and off-grid cabins from Alaska to rural Australia. SpaceX's own privacy documentation confirms the terminal's built-in GPS chip stays active for what the company calls obstruction mapping, tracking sky visibility to optimize signal, even while internet service is paused through the app. That location data gets stored on SpaceX servers and, per the company's law enforcement guidelines published in 2023, can be handed over under a valid subpoena. Drop a comment if you didn't know your dish keeps reporting home even when you've hit pause. Back in Ukraine, the workaround soldiers eventually settled on wasn't foil, it was discipline. Power the dish on for a burst, grab the data, shut it down fast, and move position before the next transmission. There's no setting in the Starlink app that turns off the location beacon, because the beacon is how the satellite finds you in the first place. It's built into the physics of how the system works, not a toggle SpaceX could remove even if it wanted to. Comment below if this changes how you'll think about that dish on your roof, and hit subscribe so tomorrow's secret lands in your feed.